Hey everyone, this is going to be my final thoughts on the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 XL5 version. This is the brush version of the Stampede 4x4 VXL. Traxxas came out with this probably towards the early mid-December of 2013. I'll get right off and just get to the point of, is this a good truck? It's going to depend on what you're actually buying the truck for. If you're getting the truck for all out speed, this isn't the truck for you. It's probably going to top out at the fastest at about 30 miles per hour. I got it up to close to 30 with a 2S LiPo in it. I did put a 40 and 50C LiPo in it. It did actually increase the speed a lot, but I think it may actually wear down the life of the motor. Differences between this truck and the Stampede 4x4 VXL are actually pretty huge. There's actually several things on here that are different than the VXL version. And if you bought this and tried to upgrade it to the VXL version, you'll probably end up spending probably around $250 or so. There are some things on here that the VXL version does not have. And the one biggest thing is going to be the tires and wheels, which is a huge improvement, huge over the previous VXL version. I'm expecting Traxxas probably to come out with a VXL version that has these tires and wheels on there, which would be a major plus for them with that. I'll just go over real quickly some of the differences with this truck compared to the VXL version. Right off the bat, we know that the system that is included with it is a brush system, and my motor did not burn out. I ran this truck probably about 15 times or so, and it still runs strong, no problems, no issues. It didn't overheat. So maybe Traxxas had some issues with their Titan 550s, and they corrected that, but I did not have any problems out of mine, and I was running LiPos on there. Or maybe I got a lucky batch with this. Other things that Traxxas has done differently with this version, as far as compared to the VXL version, is they actually included these foam guards, which is actually excellent, because one of the things that I've done with my VXL was I did tear the body up pretty quickly, especially in the rear. These actually help protect that body a lot more. So that was another major plus there. This truck does not include a wheelie bar, but it really doesn't need it. I wasn't able to really do any wheelies unless I hit reverse and then slammed on full throttle, and then it would pick up a little bit. But I'm not too much of a wheelie fan. Every now and then I'll do it. But for this truck right here, the speed of it, you really don't need a wheelie bar for that. You can add one on, but that's $15-20 you could actually save unless you're going to go brushless with it and put a lot of power through it. This truck does come with a 9-tooth pinion gear, where the VXL comes with an 11-tooth. Other differences other than wheelie bar, tires, and wheels is the turnbuckles. They did not include any adjustable steering knuckles in there, or turn knuckles. These steering right here is actually thinner than that on the VXL, which I was actually surprised. This is actually a lot thinner. Another major difference is going to be the shocks. Surprise, surprise. I didn't know this either until I took the shocks off just to put some other shocks on there. The shocks in the front are actually smaller in length than the shocks in the rear. So it seems like they went and took the Bandit shocks and put them on the front and just use the same Bandit shocks that the Bandit has on the rear in the rear, because they are different lengths, which I was very surprised. It does give it kind of a lower stance than the regular VXL. Other small differences is going to be, of course, it does come with, you can see that in there, a plastic drive shaft. This plastic drive shaft held up a lot better than I thought it would. I thought when I put brushless power in it, that would actually start stripping, but it did not strip, even with these higher grip tires and running it on road and in different various terrains. They did also include the 2056 servo instead of the 2775. I did not have any problems or issues with that. I even put some larger diameter tires and wheels on here, and it still worked fine. No problems, no issues. Some other differences would be in the radios. The one on my right is the radio that comes with the VXL, which is the TQI. And the one on my left is the one that comes with the Brush Stampede 4x4. I think these also come in their Brush Rustler and Bandits and Slash 2-wheel drive. This is going to have more adjustability than this one. But for what it's worth, this is fine with the truck. The only difference I did notice also was that the antenna wire for this TQ radio was a lot longer than the one that came with the TQI. Not sure if it's just the way they created or constructed, because it seems like the same receiver, but just let you guys know I did have to tuck some of that wire in there as well. Nothing broke on the truck. I did have a couple of pretty hard bashing sessions, and nothing broke on it. Surprise, surprise. A-arms didn't break. I know that's something that always breaks on it, and everyone's usually replacing those with the RPM ones. Spur gear didn't strip or anything like that. So the truck has actually ran pretty well for me. I didn't have any problems or issues out of it at all. I just wish that the price was a little bit lower, because for the price of this truck, which is $299, you could go out and get a Helion Invictus for $289. And it is a brushless truck, and it can handle 3S lipos as well. It does come with, of course, great tires on it as well. I've had one myself, and I still have mine in there, and metal dog bones. So some people like the Invictus, some people don't. I do, because it handles a lot better, in my opinion, than the VXL Stampede 4x4. But the VXL is a lot faster, and you can adjust the VXL Stampede 4x4 more. There's a huge aftermarket support for that truck out there. So that does give it a hand over the Invictus. So other things with this truck, I did put a light set on it. It does fit, of course, all of the Stampede 4x4 VXL parts. One other major difference was I did read through the instruction manual, and they did seem to have put in a cheaper set of gears on the diff gear back here. I'm not sure why they did that, but it does seem to be a cheaper made or mold than the VXL one. They do recommend, if you do go brushless, to replace that. Well, I went brushless, put a 3S in it, ran it pretty hard, and didn't have any problems to it. So that is going to be my final thoughts on the Stampede 4x4 XL5. It is a good truck. I'd recommend, if you get it, I would try to get it through Tower Hobbies. They do offer some pretty good discounts. I think it's $20-30 off if you spend $300. Just buy some body clips or a screw, and you'll hit the $300 range. And I think if you're a Super Savers Club, you get like $50 off. Right around $250 would be an excellent price for this truck. If you're thinking you're going to buy this truck and then within a couple of weeks upgrade to a brushless system, you're probably better off getting the VXL version and just buying these tires and wheels. You can get these tires and wheels for about $24.99. I think that's what I saw them at Tower Hobbies. So you pay about $50 because you're going to replace those stock Talon tires anyway on the VXL. That's one of the first things I've always replaced on mine, besides the rear drive shafts on it. And it's going to have a lot more adjustability than this one. But for what it's worth, this truck, I was actually surprised that I liked it a lot more than I did. And I did do one other thing to it. I did upgrade the motor. I changed it out for a few runs. I went out and got the Helion Metric 550 motor. It's the motor that they're including in their short course truck. That motor had a lot more torque than this Titan 550, and it did have a little bit more speed to it as well. The magnets in that motor seem to be stronger than that in the Titan 550. So if you get this and you're wanting to do some upgrades for it, or just want to get a little more speed and power, I would recommend getting that motor and maybe running 35C 2S LiPo in it. I wouldn't go too much higher than that if you're going to run the Titan, because you probably will end up burning it out by running a 50 or 60C 2S LiPo in it. So stay tuned for more reviews on more RC cars and more trucks. And don't forget to like and subscribe and Place your comments below.